Hi, I'm Troy from Studio 33 Guitar. Thanks for watching. So today we're looking at how to play Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. This song was originally recorded in 1983 on the album Eliminator, which also included some other great hits like Gimme All Your Lovin', Under Pressure, and Legs. This is a great sounding classic rock song, but it's actually not that difficult to play, and I'm going to break it down and simplify some things so that if you are more of a beginner, I'll give you some substitutions that will make it a little bit easier for you to play. For this lesson, I've created a custom backing track that you heard at the beginning of this video. It's just the bass and drums so that you can play along and practice the song on guitar. I'll put a link in the description below. Click on that, it'll take you right to the backing track here on YouTube. As always, you can visit my website, studio33guitar.com. You can download a free PDF of the lyrics and the chord chart, which will make it a little bit easier to follow along. But let's jump right in, zoom in on the neck, and have a look at how to play Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. The main intro, you heard it at the beginning of this video, sounds like this. So we're starting that out with the C note on the E string with our index finger. We're going to hit that twice. And then we're barring across the G and B string with our ring finger to play these two notes at the 10th fret. And once we hit that, we want to cut that off so it doesn't keep ringing out. We don't want, we want it to be like this. So to do that, we're just going to gently lift off the ring finger. We're not taking it completely off the strings, but we're just going to ease up so we're not squeezing it down. Then we're going to play the 8th fret with the index finger. We're going to bar across those same two strings. And then we're going to come up to this note with our ring finger, which is the 10th fret on the D string. So that's going to sound like this. So we're doing that same little thing where we're lifting off on that finger as well. Then we're going to play the same notes again, but just a little bit of a different rhythm. When Billy Gibbons plays this song, he actually uses his thumb to wrap around the neck, and he plays that C note with his thumb while he plays those other notes. Now for me, my hands aren't that big, my fingers aren't that long, and so it's not very comfortable for me to wrap my thumb around like that, and I can't quite make that work. So for me, I just use my index finger on that note. But you can experiment. If you want to try and use your thumb on that note, then you can certainly do that. But if you're more of a beginner, you might find this easier. Just keep your thumb down and use your index finger for that note. Now, one advantage of putting your thumb over there is that when Billy Gibbons plays this riff, he actually does alternate between these notes and that bass note. Now you can duplicate that by using your index finger. It would sound something more like this. To get that note in there with the index finger is a little bit tricky moving back and forth. So if you're able to put your thumb around, you may find that a little bit easier to get that note in there. However, it is totally fine to play this riff without that note because it really is a subtle thing that's not really very obvious when you listen to the song. If you're playing along with the backing track or playing along with the original, you won't notice so much that that note is not in there. And so if you're more of a beginner, I would recommend not worrying about that note and just play the riff like I was playing it without including that note in between. On the original recording, there's actually two different guitar tracks. The first track plays that riff that we just played, and then in between those riffs, there's a second guitar that plays this. And that's just the G, B flat to C, ending with a C power chord. Most people will play those two parts together, and so that would be like this. On the original recording, Billy Gibbons plays that C chord more like this. And that's like a traditional C major chord, but we're not playing the middle finger here. And you can just use your ring finger to rest against that next string down to keep it from ringing. And you end up with a more open sounding chord like this. Instead of the power chord version like this. For the power chord, we just play this C note here, and then these two notes, I usually just bar across with my pinky finger. Some people will use their ring finger like that, or you can use your two fingers together, whichever way you find most comfortable. For me, I find laying my pinky finger down to be the best. If you want to try it more like the original, you can try this C chord shape, but it is a little bit trickier. So again, if that's a little bit too difficult for you, then just go with the C power chord like this. So like I mentioned, that little line goes in between the main riff, and that repeats several times for the intro. Then we get to the verse of the song, which is going to sound like this. So that starts out with those same three notes that we had in between our main riff. That's the 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, to a power chord. And you're going to let that chord ring out. Then you're going to play that again. Next, we're going to go down to a B flat chord, which is the same way that we played the C chord. But we're going to put a G note in between there first, and then C down to B flat. So that's going to sound like this. And then we're going to go up to an F chord. Again, that's just these three notes. So altogether, that sounds like this. Repeat that. Then G, C, B flat. To F. Then we're going to repeat that whole thing. Then we're going to go to a G chord, so we're just going to slide this up 2 frets. And this is where he sings, "They come running just as fast as they can." And then we're going to go straight down to a C chord and hit that once. And that stop is where he says, "Every girl crazy about a sharp dressed man." So that whole thing would sound like this. Repeat that. Then to the G. So that G chord is held for 2 bars, so that would be a count of 4, 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's going to lead us back into the main riff of the song. Now, right before it goes back into that riff, it'll play a quick E flat, B flat, before it goes to the C. So that's at the 6th fret on the A string, and then the 6th fret on the E string, and then back up to that C. And the timing for that would be like this. You have that G chord where you're counting 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you hit the C chord on 1, and you're going to have a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to play that same riff again, which then leads to the next verse, which is played exactly the same way as the first. And the only other part to the song is the solo section. Now, if you're going to play rhythm guitar for that, you're just going to be playing this C chord. Now, you'll hear that for quite a while. I think it goes for about 24 bars or so. It's a long time on that C while the solo is happening. Then you'll hear a transition where the solo sounds like this. and it goes to an F chord. And then it goes back to that C chord. And then there's another stop, and that main riff comes back again. And that's the entire song. It's really not that complicated, and it's a lot of fun to play. So make sure you check out the backing track. Again, I'll put the link in the description below that'll take you right there. It's a lot of fun to play along with to practice. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that I know, and I'll keep making videos like this. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.